The Nifty.Show.
And this is another episode of The Nifty.Show brought to you by your friends at the Bad Crypto Podcast. That would be myself, Joel Comm, and Sir Lord Travis Wright. Hello, Travis.
Did you say the Bad Crypto Podcast?
Yeah, brought to you by.
We're the guys, yeah, I guess we're the guys who did the Bad Crypto Podcast. And this is the podcast that's brought to you. It's the Nifty.Show.
Yeah, well, we don't have any sponsors for the show, so it's brought to you by
that's
the Bad
true.
Crypto Podcast.
This episode brought to you by AncientWisdom.io. Get your shaman soon.
Shaman you.
My light is fading slowly. Can you see? Like I just need to hold my light like this.
Yeah. Did you just smack yourself with it?
Hey, welcome to the podcast.
You know, for the longest time, we have talked about the importance of utility with NFTs more so than ever. Some people are still going to collect art for art's sake, but art that adds value in a specific way is more desirable. And our guests today are doing exactly that. It's art and it's utility. We have with us the founders of the Munchies NFT project, Adam and Adrian. Gentlemen, welcome to the Nifty.Show, brought to you by the Bad Crypto Podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having us here.
Now, I'm assuming, Adam, you've got the artwork behind you. You are the artist on the project. Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us about your history with art.
Yeah, sure. So I studied fine art at university, and that's kind of where my journey with art began. And sort of that's where my creative kind of angle was there. I've done a few exhibitions as well from going from uni, and also I've taught kids about art in Pennsylvania in the Poconos. So I was an art director at a summer camp there. So I was able to do a bit of education / art. And that's how it kind of brought me to kind of create Munchies NFT. Because I thought, how can I offer the art education to people that are already collecting NFTs, but necessarily wouldn't go to a gallery or find time to? So I thought, if there's a way I can do this education in a really fun, accessible way, then I can make it happen in an NFT project. And that's kind of what we've been doing. Like, people already in the Discord, like educating a lot of people that would never have come across these great artists from the past and present, and actually giving them a bit of education in a really fun, accessible way. So when you look through the collection, you'll be familiar with some artists that I've done pieces inspired by, but then there'll be others that are kind of in the NFT space or new to people. So it's kind of a nice blend between whatever your experience or whatever you know, to try and like build that out and actually offer a bit of education from my side with these fun pieces. As you can see, lots of bright colors to make it more accessible and more fun.
So who's this art guy? Like, what's his deal? How long you known art?
So is that a question for me? Sorry.
He's being silly. Travis is just being silly. Travis, I think you muted yourself there somehow. I know that you have words to say.
I muted myself somehow.
There you go.
There. So some people might look at this artwork and say, "Wow, like look at this. This is like what is this?" And so, but there's some cleverness behind this, and there's the IP rights behind this. And maybe talk about, how did you generate this art, and then what are people going to be able to do with the art?
Okay, so it was all it was like we did so many one-of-one pieces at the top of the tier. Basically, there was about 180 that I did one-of-ones. The whole project are kind of one-of-ones because they're all unique, because I did like thousands of layers to make it all, and they're all, some are interpreted from famous artists from the past and present, some in the NFT space. So it's blending all this together. Like, you'll see elements that you're familiar with, and then you'll see others that are actually my own work as well, which I've blended in to make it even more kind of colorful and interesting. So there's some elements here that you'll see that are inspired by famous artists. There's some elements that's my own work, and there's some that are NFT artists. So it's a blend of all those things and generated to create these fun, colorful, bright kind of, some weird and wonderful pieces, really, that I think people, as you go through, you see something new every line, really.
Yeah, it keeps changing as I'm scrolling through here on OpenSea. I do see occasional IP I recognize, like Mickey Mouse, and some other things. So Adrian, utility is super important, and this is not just about a tasty dish of art here that's all unique and weird and wonderful. Tell us about what Munchies are intended to deliver beyond the artwork.
Yeah, it's a very good question that you actually brought up. Yeah, in terms of utilities, we actually have a different number of different aspects that we're actually delivering for our holders. First is the crypto investment deals. So we really want to help our holder to be like smart investors, not just in the NFT space, but also in the crypto space. As you know, potentially a lot of the IDO platforms, they are, let's say, crypto platform, they have IDOs allowing their holders to actually stake their crypto and then investing in the IDO deals before the TGEs. For us, we are a group of investors that actually access to the seed round and private rounds. And we have already invested in companies like Moonray, which is a AAA game company in seed round, Raffle Games as well, Mesh, as well as Harmony Swap. So with this, we actually open the doors for our holders to invest with us, no matter what their money, or let's say capital investment, etc., with minimum of 500 investment. So that's one thing. The second thing is going back to the NFTs as well as like the crypto investment in general. We actually share our let's say IC tools, a lot of different tools like Messari, Wallet Investors in our Discord. So if you actually are a holder and verified your ownerships, you're able to see a lot of the holders' informations that, oh, this is the reports that is actually received by which got it to Munchies, and then Munchies is able to share all this information with us, etc., etc. So we are doing this, and one more thing is we really, really want to help more artists to get into the NFT space. So we actually will do a lot of the artist stuff like, hey, we want to look for artists. If you are actually having a project that is like unreachable at your own capacity, we would like to actually provide the funding and the know-how to actually help you to launch a project. So this is what the utilities in terms of different arms that we are targeting right now.
Very interesting. I love IC tools. IC tools has been one of those tools that's that really help you find a lot of great information on there. We found that early on. There's popping up a whole lot of these kinds of projects that are helping out that right now. That you buy an NFT and then that NFT gives you lifetime access to some of these tools. So love that you guys are doing an artist launch pad. I look at the art and I go, it reminds me of some stuff that I did back in the late '90s. Like I'm just like, and the colors of it and how some of them are coming together, and you kind of got a little bit. They look a little clashy, and it's like a little neon-y, and it's almost like my early Photoshop stuff. Almost. This was funny. So people are putting these on shirts and putting them on mugs and whatnot. And then, like, they have full IP rights.
Yeah, that's correct.
There's a guy actually in France that's building. Sorry,
yeah.
You carry on.
Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
There's a guy actually in that's creating a gallery in France and stuff. So that's kind of cool that he's really invested in it and he keeps buying the pieces, and he wants to do this gallery. He's kind of opened an Etsy store and stuff. So that's how he's kind of dealing with it. Also, like from the other side, I'm getting involved in more galleries and actually getting more traction as the artist as well. Like I'm involved in the other art fair, which is presented by Saatchi, and that's going to be on the 23rd of May till the 7th of June. And that's going to get lots more eyes on the project and actually bring in a lot of like actual contemporary art collectors, as well as people in the NFT space to kind of learn about the project and kind of see what we're doing. It's like a virtual booth that you get to go around, and then you've got links to our site and different things. So that will gain a lot of exposure in terms of in the other art world as well as the NFT space. So that's something I'm really looking to do, and also make them connections that I can then help artists that we want to support actually have those connections to start with, and I can be like, you should go for this fair and we can try and help you do that, and these are the tips that you need to be able to get into a fair like that.
Yeah, because these are art that are definitely wall ready. I know some people are are doing this where they can create, piece of art. Have you thought about facilitating a way, partnering with some sort of printing studio that they can go in and only if they own it can they print it?
We've definitely been looking into various avenues. I guess the biggest thing right now is because it's quite worldwide, like the people that are actually purchasing these NFTs. It's just scaling that out and dealing with like the shipping costs and stuff like that. I think that's the biggest kind of barrier with all that I've looked into so far. But we're definitely looking at ways that potentially we can do this as well.
Well, you can see, behind me, I just go on Mix Tiles and upload my pictures and print them out. And they're like, what, $8 a piece, Travis got them all over his house. And I just thought, this is the first time I'm debuting this as a background.
It's awesome.
Inspired by Minty Cell of Nifty Chicks who did it for her show. I'm like, that's a great idea. And it makes a great background. I'll step out of the way so you can see it. There it is.
No, that's great. Got a good mix there as well.
Yeah, there's those guys right there. Watch out for
those guys are the worst.
Yeah,
those guys are the worst. I love those. Are from our Blockchain Heroes collection. I love that. What is that? What is that? That room separator that you got? Did you get like from Amazon or something?
No, it was like what was the name of it? It'll come to me. But it makes a lot. It's like roomdividers.com. I think it's something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. I should get something like that behind mine, and then I can put some of my fancy ones up there. So we're looking,
especially where you are right now in like a hotel room. Like you really need one there.
I am in Playa del Carmen, and unfortunately, my light is out, so my light you can almost see. It's horrible, and I got some obnoxious construction going on behind me too. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, Trav, anything else you want to know?
I have no more questions. It's pretty self-explanatory what you've done here. I think this will appeal to a certain subset of people. And, you've got some inspired art from some interesting collections. I see it's got a low floor right now. I purchased one off the floor, but I'm not going to eat it.
Travis, you should never pick food up off the floor. It
just depends. This is the 5-second rule. And as long as I'm not in a disgusting area, it's good.
Well, I mean, what's really good here is so you guys can look at the OpenSea and just, in case you're not aware, this is fully minted out, all 5,000. There's 1,600 owners. Floor currently as of the 9th of May, 2022 is 0.01. And there's already been 89 ETH in volume traded. I mean, that's a lot of action for a new collection. That's not a big name, collection. Hasn't had a ton of hype. These guys have done this on their own and done a really good job with it. So, gents, good luck with the project. Keep us posted. And thanks for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thank you for having us today.
Yeah. So, Trav, you got the munchies now?
I'm here in the shadows, man. I feel like I'm lurking.
You are in the shadows.
I'm like an overlord today. Like, hey.
I'm at my standing desk all the time, and I'm thinking, maybe if I sat, it would look even better behind me because, we'd be down here.
I think you should squat. Just do some squats.
It would be like if I took the camera there and I brought it down to sitting level, then it'd be like that.
I'm very disappointed. I don't see a gift goat. I don't see where's the gift goat?
So a lot of my NFTs are already other places on my wall. There's some on the other side of that desk that you can't see down there.
Yeah.
And then
you can pick those off really easily and they restick nicely. So you can rearrange.
Yeah. I think what I want to do is create, all I've tried to do so far is print PFPs, the characters, but I think I want to go into the art I have and do that next and create pieces.
I think I'm going to do that. Some of my PFPs. And then also I got my Kobe that I love, and I'll take that Kobe one, and then I'm going to do some from ancientwisdom.io, put those up there, and then maybe I'll go ahead and put the new one that I got from the Munchies up there.
Yeah, there you go.
It looks like an angry moon. I got one that looks like an angry moon, like, Urgh! So
here's the website. I found it for you, Trav. It's roomdividers.com, just like you would suspect. And they're not sponsoring the show. But they got some really cool, ready to go ones. So if you wanted a print behind you, there's a beach scene.
Do they have a green screen one? Because that would be really badass.
I don't know.
They should totally have a green screen run, so then I could just be all like, "Hey, I got a room."
But it's kind of fun because little people pop up when you mouse over to kind of show you how tall.
Check out the little peoples.
Yeah, Anyway, hey, thanks everybody for joining us for this episode. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, review if you haven't, or it just takes a minute. If you're inspired, you're like, I really like that these guys put this content out here. They do it for free. I'm going to take 60 seconds of my life and I'm going to go write them a review and I'm going to give them 10 stars. And I'm going to get real mad when I find out that I can only give them 5. So I'm going to give them 2 5-star
No.
reviews.
You can do 10 stars because you have 2 different accounts and you just do 2 5-star reviews.
There you go.
And that's how you get around that. So if you want to give us 10 stars, you can easily do that. Just do 2 reviews.
All right. Well, I'm
and then
going
if you're
down
on the show, like these 2 gentlemen that were just on, they should give us 5-star reviews too, because we gave them publicity. Everybody who comes on the show should give us 5-star reviews.
They totally
Unless
should.
we talk shit on their project, then they should only give us 4.
Unless their name is EhoTech.
That is an inside joke for only a few. I bet most people have no clue what that joke even means.
They have no idea what that joke means.
It's funny to me.
Be an old bad crypto podcast listener. So I got to go down in the basement. So Travis is going to take us out of here.
All right. As Joel is leaving, going down to the basement, he's keeping it nifty. So we want to make sure that all y'all out there in Nifty Land, you also keep it nifty.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Joel and Zach are the hosts, you'll know. Joel and Zach say this will blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go. It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty Show.